Hollywood loves a comeback story, and Demi has made her biggest comeback yet. Now, plastic surgeons have revealed the secrets of the celebrities who've, had the biggest glow-ups in recent years, and after being mocked over plastic surgery rumors in January 2021, Demi Moore, who's 62, was widely praised for her age-defying and wrinkle-free look at the Golden Globes this month, where she won Best Actress in a Motion Picture. Demi took home the first acting award of her career in January 2025, winning the Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy for her role in the horror film The Substance. Now, she played a former A-list star who took a black market substance to regain her youthful looks, only to discover horrifying side effects. The star revealed how she could relate to the character because of her own body image issues. She said in an interview, I placed a lot of value on what my body looked like as being, a defining marker of whether I belonged or not, whether I could succeed or not. Demi Moore, has publicly admitted to a few cosmetic procedures. However, there's no way to know for sure what she has done, but based on her results, here's what procedures she may have recently had, according to a plastic surgeon named Dr. Ewan. So facelifts and neck lifts, which are two relatively invasive treatments that deliver long-lasting results. Both procedures help, tighten the skin, eliminate wrinkles, and remove unwanted fat in stubborn areas. While Demi Moore has not publicly admitted to getting either procedure, there are some signs of total facial rejuvenation. Her appearance is more youthful, defined, and contoured, so her skin also looks tighter, and she has no, noticeable fine lines or deep wrinkles. A blepharoplasty removes sagging skin above the eyelids and under eye bags. The procedure provides, permanent, long-lasting results and eliminates aging or sagging eyelids. After the procedure, patients look more awake and well-rested. Demi Moore's eye area appears to be smoother and more contoured than years before. Not only does she not have, under eye bags, dark circles, or wrinkles in that area, but she also looks more awake. These adjustments to her appearance suggest she's recently had that procedure done. These cosmetic procedures help, lessen the appearance of forehead wrinkles and frown lines as well, helping individuals achieve just a smoother, crease-free appearance. Demi Moore already has a very naturally well-defined, bone structure. A brow or forehead lift could have helped enhance her natural features, making her cheekbones more prominent. Her eyebrows also seem slightly raised, helping her achieve a more awake-looking appearance. Facial contouring using fillers and fat grafting can also help achieve a more sculpted appearance. Demi Moore may use, fillers and fat grafting to achieve high, well-defined cheekbones. Her appearance is notably more balanced, and just in previous years. She also seems to have contouring around her cheeks, jawline, and nose. Botox as well is presumed. Demi Moore, possibly uses Botox to maintain a youthful appearance and prevent new wrinkles from actually forming. Her complexion looks smoother than in previous years, but she doesn't look like she uses too much to maintain her appearance. Botox is all about finding the perfect amount to achieve next level results. Demi Moore's lips also look fuller than in previous years, which suggests, that she may have had some lip filler added as well. Dr. Ewan also suggested that Christina Aguilera has had some work done. From the moment she first set foot on stage, Christina Aguilera added a touch of magic to the world. As time has passed, she has, continually wowed audiences with her incredible vocal talents, business deals, and evolving looks. Most recently, though, the pop artist, has appeared on stage and on social media looking very young, very skinny, and more gorgeous than ever, to be honest. With such dramatic changes in such a short period of time, there's widespread speculation about what may be behind the 43-year-old's fresh face glow and trim physique. Seemingly, everyone is sharing an opinion on the visible shifts, from fans and industry people to medical professionals. But Dr. Ewan said that Aguilera has likely undergone a facelift to sculpt her cheekbones and smooth the lines between, her nose and lips. She has also likely undergone filler there, as well as, filler to her lips. And there are also suggestions that she used a weight loss supplement like Ozempic, although, she denies this, of course. Despite people's opinions, Christina has not openly discussed, the specifics, of her metamorphosis. However, the combination of a sleeker face and apparent weight loss has fueled a lot of speculation about whether it's plastic surgery, whether it's cosmetic procedures, or, again, Ozempic rumors. rumors, yet everyone seems to agree on one thing: she looks amazing. At times, Christina has appeared to have like a pillow face, kind of a puffy, overfilled look, often associated with the overuse of dermal fillers. However, in 2024, the pop artist's smoother, tighter skin suggests that, she shifted from traditional fillers to other treatments such as Sculptra or Radiesse. Now, Sculptra is a dermal filler offering minimally invasive, long-lasting skin rejuvenation by triggering the body's own collagen production. Sculptra injections create, firmer, plumper skin over time, and Radiesse adds volume while prompting collagen production. So unlike gel-based fillers, Radiesse consists of microscopic calcium hydropaxitite particles in a water-based solution and is typically well tolerated. Now, non-invasive treatments may account for much of Christina Aguilera's 2024 transformation. However, subtle facial, changes hint a bit that's possible it might be plastic surgery interventions, such as a facelift or eyelid surgery. Christina Aguilera's weight loss in 2024 has sparked a lot of speculation that the pop star may have used, again, Ozempic to achieve her very skinny physique. Now, many industry people have weighed in on how this type of weight loss can reshape your body image. Beyond her status, as a pop icon, Christina Aguilera has created a buzz in the public eye on platforms like TikTok, where users speculate about her weight loss and how she achieved her new look. Yet Christina seems to, be simply embracing life and her new appearance. So Christina actually told Glamour magazine, "Other people's opinions are not my business." Bad Bunny isn't safe from this plastic surgery secrets being revealed either. One of the most dramatic celebrity transformations debuted in recent years is his. Bad Bunny's plastic surgery rumors have been a subject of curiosity in recent years. While he hasn't confirmed any procedures, speculations about his appearance have surfaced over time. Now, his fans claim he looks a little different now, and they have pointed to possible lip fillers and nose reshaping as potential, alterations. Aged at just 30 years old, plastic surgeons say the rapper may have received filler in his lips and jawline to augment his facial features, as well as a nose job. Now, in case you don't know, Bad Bunny is a successful rapper and one of the most popular reggaeton artists. His album Un Verano Sin Ti was the most streamed globally in 2022 and has won several awards, including 3 Grammys. He was born in 1994 and raised in Puerto Rico. He has 2 younger brothers and was raised in the Catholic Church. Now, he attended church weekly with his mother and sang in the choir, actually. He later developed an interest, in artists he listened to on the radio, particularly Hector Lavoe and Daddy Yankee. The Bad Bunny stage name was actually birthed when Benito was forced to wear a bunny costume and was really angry about it. So, did Bad Bunny have a nose job? It's challenging to confirm this rumor, but many sources and plastic surgeons claim that the rapper did in fact receive a nose job. Jawline surgery as well, lip augmentation, which, would change his facial features. Now, the circulating Bad Bunny before and after plastic surgery photos have his fans in a frenzy as they try to figure out whether or not he underwent total face surgery. The sudden change in his jawline shape has further fueled the Bad Bunny teeth surgery rumor as well. But despite all of the rumors, it's worth noting that Bad Bunny has remained silent on the matter. In addition, Bad Bunny's transformation has triggered mixed emotions among, his fans. Some admire his courage to take the risk of experimenting with his face. At the same time, others are disappointed that he may have used plastic surgery to meet unrealistic and very unhealthy societal beauty standards. I think, if he likes it, I love it. Whatever makes you happy, do you. Another celebrity who's been exposed is Kristen Wiig. She showed off her dramatic new look at the 76 Emmy Awards. Now, the 51-year-old Despicable Me 4 star, who has previously ruled out a Bridesmaids sequel, that sucks, appeared radiant on the red carpet at the Peacock Theater amid speculation about plastic surgery. Dressed in a dazzling emerald gown, the Saturday Night Live icon exudes effortless charm. The red carpet appearance comes after a plastic surgeon revealed the cosmetic procedures he believes Wiig has undergone to achieve her age-defying transformation. Dr. Johnny Betteridge, based in the UK, suggests that her transformation, which he called not possible naturally, has basically brought it down to a facelift. He also claimed that she had Botox to smooth lines in her forehead, surgery to reduce skin above the eyes, and filler in the lips to give them more volume, all contributing contributing to her new appearance. It's not the first time the mother of two has been hit with speculation over surgeries. I mean, after comments, circulated online last year that she had a nose job. Speaking in a TikTok viewed nearly 100,000 times, doctor actually said, looking at her from a few years ago, we can see some of the classic signs of aging, frown and forehead lines, hutting of the upper eyelids, under eye bags, and lower face laxity, sagging skin in the lower face as well. It's definitely not possible to then look like she does now a few years later without some non-surgical and surgical treatments. He continued, I can see some characteristic changes to her features. The frown and forehead lines have softened from Botox. Her eyes appear more open from eyelid surgery. Her nose is more contoured from a rhinoplasty, and the lips have more shape and volume from filler. He was comparing a picture of the star from 2013 where she appeared at the American Film Institute Festival in Hollywood to a photo of her from 2024 on SNL. Kristen, of course, has not responded to the allegations, but she's made comments in the past that people should go ahead and do what they want to do to feel better about themselves, so that kind of answers that.
Uma Thurman was scammed out of nearly $1 million a few years ago, but quickly proved why she is not the one to mess with. The actress is really good at playing women that you don't want to cross, and I can confidently say that she has the same energy in real life after hearing about how she dealt with her financial advisor. Back in 2010, Kenneth Starr was discovered to have scammed millions of dollars from his celebrity clients, again from Thurman herself a reported $1 million. Allegedly, according to the Daily Beast, upon finding out about his scam, Thurman marched into the man's office and demanded her money back, and she got her money the next day. But she wasn't the only celebrity that Starr was managing. According to People, after Thurman confronted Starr, it began to spread through his clients that he wasn't all he said he was. Some people were able to get out before things got too messy, like director Martin Scorsese. Others weren't as lucky, like Blade actor Wesley Snipes. Other former clients of his included Natalie Portman, Al Pacino, and Sylvester Stallone. Uma Thurman started the downfall, but Stallone provided that final push when he sued Starr after the Rocky actor lost $10 million. The lawsuit specifically dealt with the Planet Hollywood restaurant chain. Apparently, Starr was telling Stallone to stay invested, but then telling his other clients not to invest because it was going to go broke. It was a whole mess. He was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. But I bet you're not wondering how he was caught, even though you should be. When the authorities went to pick him up at his home, they found him hiding in the closet. He was given away by his shoes like a live-action Looney Tunes bit, and to make matters funnier, in 2015 he sued 50 former clients claiming that they never paid him for the services he did do for them that weren't scams. The audacity. Corey Feldman is next, but I would argue that the actor was less fooled and more just taken advantage of, and here's why. Feldman has been speaking out about a known problem in Hollywood for decades: the mistreatment of younger stars. For too long, this was the kind of thing that everyone was aware of but kind of pretended wasn't really happening. According to Feldman, not even the authorities would step in. He shared that he gave them a list of names to investigate for acting inappropriately towards those under the age of consent, but according to Feldman, the police didn't do much. Feldman took matters into his own hands, choosing to speak up on the issue himself and address it in his 2013 memoir, Choreography. He shared that he experienced the very thing he was trying to bring awareness to, and that some of the perpetrators are, or were, still working. Unfortunately, later other co-stars of his made it known that it was common knowledge that all this stuff was happening to Corey, and yet nothing was really done to stop it. We are in a different era of Hollywood now, where things aren't perfect, but at least they're getting better. But this video could not be put out there without Diddy making the list. The man currently has been accused by over 120 people of doing truly evil things to them and or just putting them in situations where those evil things could happen to them. Of course, Diddy has not been found guilty yet of all the charges. His trial is not for another few months. However, video footage of him committing horrible acts was leaked to the public around May of last year and led many people to believe the disgraced rapper was more than capable of doing what he's been accused of. I'm talking about the incident with his former girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a California hotel back in 2016. Ventura was actually one of the first people to bravely step forward and accuse Diddy of harmful behavior. While some people supported her from the get-go, others were more reluctant, as at the time, Diddy was a widely loved performer and people just didn't want to believe that he could do something like this. Of course, then the hotel surveillance footage dropped of him doing everything to Cassie that she said he did, and anyone with a heart quickly changed their opinions. Diddy later made a statement apologizing, but the damage was done. Soon, hundreds of people came forward with their own stories. Former producers and other co-workers, employees Diddy hired, guests from his parties, not all of them in the age of the majority at the time of their incident. Now, most of the public is firmly anti-Diddy, and everyone is anxiously awaiting his May 5th trial to watch what happens. Heidi Montag famously underwent 10 cosmetic surgeries in one day, and although she said she doesn't regret getting those things done, she feels she wasn't properly informed of just how difficult it all would be. She said in an interview that she felt like she was misled by those that gave her the surgeries. She knew how many surgeries she was going to get. It's not like the doctor was trying to get her to do more, but she feels like they weren't upfront with the tough parts of the process as they should have been. She even compared the experience of talking about her future potential cosmetic work as the doctor selling cookies. 10 surgeries in one day. It's safe to say it was a lot and overexerted the woman's body. She even briefly passed away. Husband Spencer Pratt later said that he and his wife learned the hard way that there is no such thing as a little surgery. Now, Montag has been open that 10 years later she's still experiencing health issues seemingly related to the 10 procedures. A Ponzi scheme from the early 2000s resulted in billions lost from your average Joe all the way to big names like Kevin Bacon and Steven Spielberg. Bernard Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison for being the money manager that made this whole mess happen. The Ponzi scheme involves a person paying profits to earlier investors using the money taken from new investors. The global recession hit around 2008 and led to the discovery of Madoff's scheme. A bunch of investors all went to withdraw about $7 billion at the same time, but the man didn't actually have it, so they essentially lost it all. The government later set up a fund to return as much money as they possibly could to people, but still, at the time, hearing your retirement savings had disappeared or your college fund. In the case of Steven Spielberg, it wasn't his money lost, but some would argue worse, the funds of his charitable organization. At the time of the Ponzi scheme, about 70% of the foundation's money was invested with Madoff. They did recover and continued their mission to this day though. As for actor Kevin Bacon, he and his wife had, in his words, invested and then lost most of their money in the incident. Bacon was very aware though that the suffering public might not want to hear a big celebrity talking about this, even though they were technically going through the same thing. The actor talked about how him and his family were just grateful that they were all just physically fine and that they just agreed to buckle down and get back to work. In the end, they were able to get some of their fortune back. Elizabeth Moss's first and only marriage has been described by the actress as traumatic, awful, and horrible. The groom was Fred Armisen, who you might recognize from SNL or as Uncle Fester in Wednesday. The talented comic and talented actress were great together at first, but soon after the wedding things must have taken a turn considering the playout. Fred later took accountability for his actions, speaking on the Howard Stern show. He admitted that he was a terrible husband and that he felt bad for everyone he'd ever dated. Moss has now seemingly left the marriage behind her, but did give the public some insight into why she might have divorced the man. He's so great at doing impersonations, but the greatest impersonation he does is that of a normal person. She isn't alone in her experience. Other partners of his seem to have negative experiences too, one referring to Fred as a sociopath. On the Stern show, Fred said he is actively working now to fix his patterns in therapy. Anne Hathaway was scammed out of about $2.4 million, but her story is a bit more personal. Her scammer was her boyfriend of 4 years. He was an entrepreneur from Italy, and he was allegedly taking money straight from the actress's bank account. He would promise his clients property in exchange for their investments, but the property was owned by the Roman Catholic Church, or he just never actually went through with the sale, and to me that just sounds like he invented a brand new sin. Anne Hathaway wasn't the only person affected by his bad deals. Bill Clinton was also burned by it. Folieri was deported from the US and served 4.5 years in prison. On a lighter note, despite being a very terrible situation, Anne Hathaway proved that she can look at the situation with a sense of humor. In 2010, the actress did an interview with Vogue in which she was asked about her deal breakers in a relationship, to which she responded, fraud. She also said that now she is way more careful with her heart, but luckily 2 years later she found the one and they are still married today.
Megan Fox. As soon as fans started to speculate that she was involved with Diddy during these parties, Megan Fox deleted her whole Instagram account and deleted all her tweets. Something for sure happened, and Megan Fox is trying to delete her entire involvement. Machine Gun Kelly was offered a glimpse into Diddy's extravagant lifestyle, recounting a memorable experience where they engaged in a non-stop 2-day party marathon, forgoing sleep entirely. Machine Gun Kelly said he was about 20 years old when he partied with Diddy. But now with all these allegations coming out now about Diddy, I am sure Machine Gun Kelly regrets speaking publicly about anything. We also have LeBron James on this list, who said something insane publicly that I am sure he deeply regrets as well, but we will get to him later. Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio have been close friends for many years, and rumors are just coming out now that Tobey Maguire, yes, Spider-Man, has attended some Diddy parties. Apparently he was spotted with 20-year-old Lily Chi at the white parties, and there might be pictures coming to the surface. Heidi Klum might not be able to hide anymore. Photos of Diddy dressed as the Pope at Heidi Klum's 2008 Halloween party have resurfaced. Heidi Klum can no longer say she has not partied with Diddy. Diddy, all dressed up as the Pope, was caught on camera blessing everyone and even dancing on a table at Heidi Klum's party. His girlfriend at the time, Cassie Ventura, was there too in a Wonder Woman costume. Nick Cannon recalled one of his earliest experiences attending a party hosted by Diddy. Nick Cannon recalled attending one of his first Diddy parties as a teenager. Now this is massive because Nick Cannon is stating that he was just a teenager attending these types of parties. I just don't see a world where Diddy isn't convicted and stays in prison for the rest of his life. Nick Cannon was underage when he attended. Nick Cannon on an episode of the Breakfast Club podcast saying he was like 16 or 17 years old when he attended the Diddy party. Nick Cannon is currently 44 years old. These parties have been going on for decades. There must have been hundreds of celebrities who attended these freaky illegal parties. How did this happen for so long? Howard Stern has talked about his Diddy party experience on his show The Howard Stern Show. He said, "There were girls in bathing suits running around by the pool." Despite not suspecting any wrongdoing, Stern described feeling uncomfortable and even abhorrent during his visit to one of Diddy's parties, recalling that he was not even permitted to use the bathroom. Is Howard Stern telling the whole truth? Nothing but the truth? Also, let us know if we missed anyone who you think should be on this list. Usher. He has acknowledged exposure. Usher has acknowledged being exposed to a different set of things while living with Diddy, including adult situations. Usher and Diddy have a significant professional relationship. Diddy mentored Usher early in his career, providing guidance and support as he rose to fame. This mentorship likely fostered a strong bond between them, leading to Usher's frequent attendance at Diddy's events. Justin Bieber. In an old video on his official YouTube channel, Justin Bieber revealed that Usher, his mentor and label executive, loaned him to Diddy for 48 hours. Where we're hanging out and what we're doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him, Diddy stated in the video. Justin Bieber has said many times that in this industry, he has seen so many things that he is not proud of. He was so young and was taken advantage of. That's why Justin Bieber just struggles so much, and he doesn't even enjoy touring anymore and being in the spotlight. He would be devastated if he had to testify during the Diddy hearing. Frequent guest. Naomi Campbell has been a frequent guest at Diddy's parties over the years. There were rumors of a brief romantic involvement between her and Combs in the early 2000s. Ashton Kutcher and Diddy were once close friends. As soon as the news about Diddy came out, Mila Kunis apparently distanced herself from Ashton Kutcher. What does Mila Kunis know? LeBron James has publicly said, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." LeBron James has put himself at the place of a potential crime. When the video clip of LeBron James resurfaced, LeBron James went missing for the Los Angeles Lakers. They listed him as personal time off, but no one knew what was going on. Oprah has been acting very differently. Oprah has attended Diddy's parties. She has been spotted at some of his famous parties, which are known for their star-studded guest lists. Oprah's attendance at Diddy's parties has been documented in photos and media reports. So there is no way for Oprah to deny that she has attended a Diddy party. Oprah would have a lot of information about what actually took place at these parties. Imagine she was summoned into court to give statements. Oprah has not publicly commented on the allegations against Diddy. She has not publicly addressed her past attendance at his parties, or commented on the recent allegations against him. This does not make sense. If you didn't do anything or see anything, why not clear your name on the record? If the allegations against Diddy are proven to be true, Oprah's past association with him could be used against her in legal or reputational battles. Now, imagine seeing Oprah sentenced to prison for life. Russell Brand has spoken about attending a Diddy party in the past. He described it as a white party. Brand has also spoken about leaving the party early, suggesting that he felt uncomfortable or out of place in that environment. He has stated that he felt not qualified to handle stuff that went on at the party, implying that he witnessed or experienced something that made him uneasy. So this does mean Russell Brand does have a lot of information. If he saw things that took place at the party but said nothing, are you not just as guilty? The Weeknd, a globally renowned singer and songwriter, has been photographed at various events with Diddy, suggesting they've socialized together. Jay-Z is about to turn his back on his longtime friend and said that he isn't going to hold back any information. Jay-Z is facing a lawsuit alleging he did something to an underage girl at an after-party for the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards. The plaintiff, identified as Jane Doe, claims she was given something and was taken advantage of by Jay-Z and Diddy. The plaintiff, Jane Doe, has been granted anonymity by the court to protect her privacy and mental health. Jay-Z tried to get this case thrown out, but the judge fired back and said this case will move forward. Jay-Z's legal team has argued that the lawsuit is legally flawed and should be dismissed. They have likely raised various legal arguments, such as lack of sufficient evidence, statute of limitations, and potential procedural issues. As of right now, the most likely person to sit in the prison cell with Diddy is his best friend Jay-Z. Diddy is facing multiple lawsuits. Diddy has been facing multiple lawsuits with various allegations, including assault and trafficking. Despite having a strong legal team, Diddy remains in jail. Sources say this has been difficult for him, especially during the holidays. A source close to Diddy, however, refutes claims of a meltdown. They confirm he misses his family dearly, particularly during Christmas, a time he traditionally spends with his children. This news comes as a judge recently ruled that an Alabama woman can proceed anonymously in her lawsuit against Diddy and Jay-Z, accusing them of assault when she was a minor. A far cry from his opulent lifestyle, Diddy faced a bleak Christmas in a Brooklyn jail cell. The disgraced music mogul remains incarcerated, allegedly continuing his refusal of prison meals as his legal proceedings move forward.
In 2022, it was said that Oprah apparently spent a fortune to make sure the docuseries created about her never sees the light of day, after clashing with Oscar-winning filmmaker and director Kevin McDonald over the project. While industry sources speculate Oprah would have to pay millions of dollars to get the rights to the documentary back, a source in the know denies it was in the seven figures. As the Apple TV Plus deal was coming to an end, Miss Winfrey brought back the rights to her docuseries and has since decided to put the doc on hold, a spokesperson for Oprah told Page 6. In addition, another source said Kevin made the film, but Oprah didn't like it and he refused to change it, and Oprah has paid back her fee to Apple. Again, this is strange because she's worked with Apple so many times before. Now, her previous work with them included the chat show The Oprah Conversations and the mental health special The Me You Can't See in collaboration with Prince Harry. Now, she also hosted Oprah's book club on Apple Books. But with everything going on with Oprah and her weird behavior the past couple of years, many people question why she canceled the docuseries and if Oprah was worried some damaging information was set to become public. Well, now isn't it sketchy? One person wrote in Page 6's comment section when this was revealed. Another individual asked, what is she afraid of or hiding? Now, similar takes showed up on Twitter, as one person wrote, what is Oprah hiding? While another tweeted, Oprah Winfrey shelled out a fortune to prevent a documentary release. Sounds legit, money talks, right? Not the truth. Yeah, I gotta say that is pretty sketchy sounding. And that's not the first time she's pulled some of her work.
This isn't the first time Oprah has canceled projects she commissioned or approved about herself. You see, in 1993, she pulled back an autobiography that was ready to be published. Now that caused quite a stir because in publishing, no one does that. Oprah had been paid $3 million in advance, but she gave it back just 3 months before the publishing date. Then she also had a book she planned for 2017 called The Life You Want, and again, the book never materialized, and this is honestly just weird. Then there's the whole situation with the school that she opened. The Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls opened in Johannesburg in 2007. Oprah founded it with her own $40 million and hand-selected the 152 students. But less than a year after the school opened, 6 students came forward to accuse dorm matron Virginia Tiny Macobo of mistreating them. She was arrested in November 2007, facing 14 different charges, but she was released on bail. It seems like Oprah and her team didn't do a good job at hiring and keeping an eye on the new staff. Now, it's so sad because this could have been prevented. Now, following the first trial, Oprah was then sued by the headmistress of the South African Girls' School for defamation. She alleged that Oprah defamed her by implying she was covering up the mistreatment going on at the school. However, this case was later settled outside of court before the arranged trial. Now, that's not all that happened there, though. In 2009, there was another scandal about mistreatment. 7 of the students were suspended for harassing their classmates. A South African news outlet also revealed that one of the girls demanded that her victims lie to the police about what happened, which is so messed up. Now, it seems like there has been scandal after scandal at this school, and no one is doing anything to prevent it from happening. Now, maybe Oprah has been paying off the victims to keep it all hush-hush. Now, more things have happened there too. At one point, parents also came forward with complaints about the school. In March 2007, some parents complained because they were only allowed to visit their daughters once a month and the girls were only allowed to use their cell phones on the weekends. One parent said, "It was a nightmare. We only had 2 hours to see my child. Surely this isn't a prison or an institution?" Another mother said her homesick daughter was very upset over the rules. "Michelle phones me in tears sometimes, and then I don't know what to say to her," she said. Now, the fact that parents are feeling this way is not good at all. Now, there have also been rumors online that some girls from the school have gone missing. Is there proof? No, there hasn't been any concrete evidence of this, but it honestly wouldn't surprise me since there's been a bunch of other shady stuff going on there too. Now, people think that Oprah has been taking the students and doing whatever she wants with them. Now, shockingly, the school is still up and running, which is crazy considering all the scandals that have happened there. There's definitely something fishy going on though, and more people have started to question it lately, especially since Oprah's connection to Diddy has been brought to light. Now, if you didn't know, Diddy is a musician, but this year he was arrested for running various crime rings, most of which happened at his infamous parties. Now, the thing is, Oprah was known to frequent these parties and be friends with him. So now, people are looking at her suspiciously. Recently, a source sent Page 6 a VHS tape that was sent out as an invitation to the mogul's 29th birthday party in 1998. It's a combination of celebrities inviting you to Diddy's birthday party, and starting off the video though is Oprah, which stands out a lot. Now, other celebrities seen in the tape include Ellen DeGeneres, Chris Rock, Will Smith, and Joan Rivers. It begins with a strange home video style skit in which Danny DeVito, lying on a sofa under a blanket, says, "That's right, Puff Daddy is having a party, and this is Puff Daddy inviting you to come. Let's have a ball." Then the group of celebs take turns reading from a script detailing the date and time, how amazing the party will be, and then reading an address to RSVP to. Now, the fact that Oprah was in this is alarming to people. Now, all those people in the video appear to be his really good friends, and how interesting is it that Oprah was a part of it? After all, it was revealed that the video invite is 6 minutes long, but only 1.5 minutes of it were released to the public. It has people questioning what else is on there and what's being hidden. Maybe some of the celebrities found out it was going to be leaked and paid off the company to not release the whole thing. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, as attorney Tony Busby, who is representing over 120 alleged victims of Diddy's controversial freak-off parties, has begun sending demand letters to A-list celebrities who attended these events, reported The Blast. Now, the letters have actually urged all these stars to settle out of court or face potential lawsuits, even if they did not engage in any kind of illegal activities. Tony has put forward an argument that their silence and inaction during these events make them complicit, while stating that those who witnessed wrongdoing but did not intervene share the same level of liability as the perpetrators. In a recent appearance on TMZ, Tony emphasized on the fact that the demand letters are a standard practice to outline the situation and encourage dialogue, but at the same time, he's fully prepared to escalate to lawsuits if that becomes necessary, noted The Blast. Now, he also noted that many celebrities are reportedly scrubbing their social media accounts to distance themselves from Sean Diddy Combs amidst the ongoing scandal. So, could one of these celebrities be Oprah? I mean, she has a net worth of $3 billion. She'd be able to pay off whoever she wants. Now, that's the problem with the rich and powerful. They can pretty much get away with anything as they can pay people off. Now, starting off, we have Jada's relationship with Tupac Shakur. Now, it's a huge red flag in general. Now, Jada and Tupac first met as classmates when they were both at the Baltimore School for the Arts back in the 1980s. Now, in 1995, Jada revealed that she visited the rapper while he was serving time on Rikers Island. She spoke about this in her memoir and in interviews, saying, "Seeing him there, the condition he was in, and having to leave him there, he was in bad shape." She went even farther by revealing that Tupac proposed to her during one of her visits. "So when he asked me to get married, I knew at that time that he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was going to do anyway. You ain't have to marry me to do time, I'm here," she said. Jada then added that she viewed the proposal as him needing a support system and not because he loved her or actually wanted to get married. She noted that the marriage proposal wouldn't have amounted to anything at the end of the day. "Because of our friendship and because of everything we've been through together, he just wanted to feel that solidified foundation, you know? Because I promise you, he would have married and divorced me as soon as his butt left jail," she said. Now, when he was released from prison, she said the two of them met for lunch where they had an argument. She wrote in her memoir, "His whole vibe has changed since his association with Shug," she says, and writes that after expressing her concern over Tupac's new Get Down, it kicked off a hailstorm of rage in which the rapper accused Jada of having gone Hollywood. "Next thing I knew, he was done talking, and so was I," she says in the memoir. Now, even though the fight was bad, Jada said she believed that they would eventually come around and make up, but that was up to Tupac. Now, unfortunately though, he passed away before they could rekindle their friendship. They went a year without speaking to each other, and then it was too late. Then there's Jada's belief in Scientology. Jada says that she has never been a fan of organized religion, but she didn't feel negatively about Scientology, unlike many people. But I mean, hey, there are a handful of celebrities who truly love Scientology, so it wouldn't be too shocking. While she says she was drawn to Scientology's general teachings, in her book she explains, "I was very clear when I stepped into the Church of Scientology that becoming a member would not be possible, nor was it my goal." Still, the star says she embraced the church's basic study manual while homeschooling her children, Jaden and Willow Smith. Now, Jada has defended her use of Scientology to homeschool her children and claimed that it was better than traditional learning. She wrote, "Some of the controversy about my approach to education probably had to do with the use of the study technology learning method I discovered when I was introduced to Scientology." But a former Scientology member says that Jada was a recruiter for the organization and that she lied about not being a member. Sam Domingo, who was a Scientologist for 20 years before leaving in 2009, said that she encountered Jada at the Church of Scientology Celebrity Center International in Los Angeles, California. Jada was charged with getting people into Scientology, and I'm sure she'd be getting commission for it, she said. "We all knew Will and Jada were Scientologists though," she added. "There was never any doubt amongst internal staff." So the fact that Jada was even a member and then lied about it is just crazy. Then there was the disrespect that Jada had with her relationship with Will. In 2021, ahead of his memoir release, Will admitted that he and Jada had an open relationship. In an interview with GQ, Will addressed the discussion and offered further insight into the period of non-monogamy in his and Jada's marriage. Will confirmed to the interviewer that both he and Jada have, with mutual agreement, engaged in intimate relationships outside of their marriage. While Will wouldn't elaborate on his experiences outside the marriage, he did admit that he felt guilt over considering infidelity in the early phase of their relationship due to his Christian upbringing. He added that Jada never believed in conventional marriage. Jada had family members that had unconventional relationships, Will revealed, so she grew up in a way that was very different to how I grew up. One red flag in Will and Jada Pinkett Smith's relationship was actually Chris Rock. Yep, he has a pretty big role in their marriage. Now, Jada says that she got to know another side of Chris while they filmed and promoted the 2005 movie Madagascar together, where they both voiced different characters. I found him to be quirky, with an unexpected sweetness, and very intelligent, with a biting wit that's impressive if you are on the right side of it, she wrote about Chris. She said she would later feel the burn of being on the wrong side though when Chris targeted her during his 2016 Oscars monologue, a year that she and Will publicly sat out of the awards ceremony over the lack of nominations for industry members of color. Why me when there were so many others who had been even more vocal, she writes. Now, Jada was even more shocked over this because at one point Chris had asked her out. At one point during rumors that Will and I had divorced, Chris even called to ask me out on a date. Once he found out I wasn't divorced, we laughed and he apologized profusely and life went on. But this wasn't her only experience with Chris. Obviously, there was the whole Oscar slap situation. At the 2022 Oscars, Will slapped Chris on live television. The incident happened due to Chris being on stage presenting an award, and he made a joke about Jada and her hair, which her husband Will did not like because Jada has been open about struggling with alopecia. Now, after the joke, Will got out of his seat and got on stage and slapped Chris. He then went back to his seat and continued to yell, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." Now, due to this, Will was banned from the Oscars for 10 years, but when this happened, many people didn't know if the slap was a skit between the two or if Will actually got that mad. Speaking about what happened, Jada said, "First of all, I was really confused because, as I talk about in the book, Will and I hadn't called each other husband and wife since 2016, she said. "I wasn't there as his wife, even though the world didn't know that, right? Because we hadn't been together. And then I was like, oh, Will's in trouble, something's not right, something has gone really awry. It was so out of character that I was at a loss. I didn't know what was happening. And so I had to really ground myself and just pay attention. I was as confused as everybody else," she said. Now, Chris wasn't the only man she had something somewhat romantic with. Jada admitted on the Red Table Talk that she had an entanglement with R&B singer August Alsina during her marriage to Will, although she maintains that they were separated at the time. Now, this could have just been a part of their open marriage situation, but August spoke about the relationship he had with her during an interview in June 2020. He said, "I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really, really deeply love and have a ton of love for her." Now, he went on to claim that Will knew about the relationship and even gave August and Jada his blessing. Now, this was the first time it was announced to the world, and people were genuinely shocked. When this first happened, the couple issued a quick statement denying that Jada had a relationship with August, but shortly after, Jada announced on Twitter that she was taking herself to the Red Table. Then, a month later, the Smiths sat down at the Red Table and discussed their relationship. They spoke about a dark period in their marriage where they thought they were going to separate and never speak again. That's when Jada and August began their relationship, or what Jada calls an entanglement. Now, Will denied giving August permission, but did know that the two were seeing each other. Now, eventually, August and Jada broke things off, which led to Jada and Will rekindling their relationship and working on their marriage, so they got back together. Now, their relationship has been through so much, they're either destined for each other or they need to run away from each other, and fast.
Jada was married to her first husband, Oani Noah, for only 11 months, but the short union caused years worth of court appearances and drama, and it's still going on actually, even after over 2 decades. About $21 million have been thrown around over the years between all the involved parties. Noah, it seems, has worked in 2 major careers during his lifetime: entertainment and the restaurant scene. He met and married J-Lo when he was a waiter. Leading up to the divorce, he had opened up his own restaurant, and then post-divorce he managed J-Lo's restaurant after she asked him if he wanted to do it. Honestly, when it comes to the restaurant aspect of it all, him and J-Lo seem like they are on pretty good terms until 2002, but we'll get into that. Originally, it seemed like he just resented her for issues when it came to Hollywood. Noah has accused J-Lo of using her connections to prevent certain TV shows and people from working with him, tarnishing his reputation by allegedly spreading rumors and taking him to court and things like that. It turns out that the show he might have been talking about being barred from was American Idol when J-Lo was judging. Allegedly, he was planning to make an appearance, but due to his history with the star, it was stopped by her. Both parties have made it clear that they went into this marriage to stay together and tried to work things out. J-Lo said she was raised to be family-oriented, and Noah said that as a pioneer and the first of her husbands, he was a good husband because he believes in marriage, supported J-Lo at the beginning by dealing with her insecurities and anxieties. Noah recently shared his perspective on the beginning of the end. It all fell apart thanks to distance, cheating, and Sean Diddy Combs. J-Lo dated Diddy right after her divorce from Noah. They met while J-Lo was married to Noah, but when being interviewed about their relationship, both stars were adamant that nothing happened until J-Lo was divorced. J-Lo actually said she didn't even like Diddy at first. Clearly, Noah believes differently. He's hinted that he believes J-Lo was cheating on him with Diddy. In addition to working together on a music video, Diddy was involved with J-Lo's first album. At the time, when J-Lo was working on this album, she, according to Noah, had to be in either Miami or New York, but he had to stay in LA to open his new restaurant. He claimed that having the distance between them, plus J-Lo meeting future partners, Diddy and Mark Anthony as well, during that time, resulted in problems the couple just couldn't fix. Despite what sounds like a lot of problems, the couple said they split on good terms, though Noah was heartbroken over it. Him and J-Lo actually found their way back into a partnership with each other, although the context was a lot different. She was opening her own restaurant and needed a manager. Noah has a lot of experience in the field, plus even though they weren't together anymore, she still viewed him as family and wanted to take care of him. She apparently promised him that she wouldn't fire him from the position unless there was a good reason. Noah held that position for 6 months before being fired for a reason he never figured out. He claims that he tried to contact J-Lo, but she wasn't answering him, so he escalated the situation and sued for damages. It did go in his favor. He got $125,000. In comparison to later court dates, the amount of money will seem pretty small, I promise. The $125,000 came with a condition though. The man must never publicly speak about his past relationship with J-Lo negatively. But something must have happened then that stung deep, because Noah broke this condition only a few years later when he tried to publish a book that was exclusively about his romance with Jenny from the Block. It was going to include all the cheating allegations per some court documents, based on other comments from Noah in future interviews where he said that he would deal with J-Lo's insecurities, he hated being on the red carpet despite her wanting him to appear with her, and how the couple would often fight and pretend everything was okay. It's likely that the book was not going to be a kind reflection of J-Lo, and this is where the cover-ups started. J-Lo obviously did not want a book by her ex in rotation, so she blocked the release. Taking her ex to court, her representation argued that Noah breached their previous contract, that he would keep the details of their relationship under wraps. This time, the courts ruled in favor of Lopez, and she was awarded $545,000 total. $200,000 of that was damages, the rest for arbitration costs and attorney's fees per CBS News. It was also reported that everything related to the book was to be given to Lopez. It was at this hearing that a permanent injunction was issued. Noah could no longer criticize, cast in a negative light, or otherwise disparage or cause disparagement to Lopez. Despite the injunction, Noah would go on to attempt to release a movie about the relationship that would allegedly include home videos of Lopez. She sued for $10 million, won, but then was sued by a producer for that film for $10 million. That was dismissed though. It's clear that J-Lo really is not interested in the public finding out the details of her first marriage. Oani Noah's potential film about his relationship with Lopez was allegedly supposed to be a mockumentary or like a parody style film. I guess they thought that they would get around the rule against Noah that he had to refrain from disparaging J-Lo publicly. There was also the rumor that it was going to include some of over 11 hours of unseen private home footage of the couple. That was in pretty clear violation of the rules, so it makes sense that JLo and her team stepped in. She sued for $10 million for, per today, breach of contract, violation of publicity rights, invasion of privacy, and more. So that affected Noah and producer Meyer for that film, but the other producer of the film, Vasquez, was not included, so they hit back with their own lawsuit. They were suing JLo now, also for $10 million. They had been working on a different JLo related project, this one called I Owe JLo, and I believe that this one was supposed to be about the time that JLo and Noah went to court over his book about their relationship, where he violated their privacy agreement and then was required to pay her over $500,000. So this one was technically not about JLo and Noah's relationship in the past, but kind of like an extension of it. It was very confusing. Point is, because JLo had just very publicly sued and stopped her ex over not just his book, but also a potential movie, Vasquez's movie was just scrapped. In their words, their film became radioactive. Why would a studio risk financing something if there's a very real possibility that it will get shut down before making it in the air? The whole situation almost worked out in the producer's favor, but the whole case was based on a cease and desist letter that was ultimately ruled to be privileged legal communication that can't be used in court. With no case, it was dismissed, and JLo technically won. Despite how it all ended, from interviews Noah has done in the past, it seems like the couple was incredibly in love at first and had a sweet wedding ceremony. JLo has echoed this, however, she did look back on the marriage a few years ago, and her comments were interesting. She said that she doesn't really count her marriage to Noah since it was so short, and at that point in her life, she thought that if she married someone, that would mean there would always be someone there for her, something she now realizes is a bad reason to get married. In a resurfaced interview from around 1999-ish, JLo mentioned that towards the end of her marriage, there were a lot of problems, something Noah inadvertently agreed with when he commented on the fact that Ben Affleck has a resting grumpy face when he's out with JLo. Noah claimed that he understood Affleck as him and JLo used to have a lot of arguments, but have to pretend everything was okay for the cameras only minutes later. JLo hinted at what some of the issues between the couple might have been in an interview after their divorce, saying that she believed that he was insecure when it came to finances and her being richer than he was, and she likely always would be. She also once suggested that he had wanted a relationship where JLo would stay home while he goes out and makes the money, but alas, she became a millionaire and paid for their home. As for JLo's current divorce from Ben Affleck, it's looking like that story is going very, very differently. Reports have said that the couple split has been going pretty well. They've agreed to part with what they each made during the marriage and what they had before. The only sticky parts are the home that they bought together, but with a team of experts working with them, that will likely be smoothed over in no time.
You see, Kitty Kelly wrote a biography about Oprah in 2010 and dropped some major bombshells there. Oprah claimed that she was born to a single teenage mother and grew up in extreme poverty. During her childhood, the cost of raising Oprah became too much for her mother to handle, so she was then sent to live with her biological father. Now, since then, Oprah has come forward talking about how she's been mistreated and taken advantage of by her cousin, uncle, and a family friend. Now, as a young teenager and after suffering for years, she ran away from home, and a year later she became pregnant. She gave birth to a son, but he was premature and passed away only a few weeks later. Now, Kitty claims that Oprah has said that she never had any new dresses or dolls and had to adopt 2 cockroaches as pets growing up in rural Mississippi, but in this new book, Oprah's cousin spoke out against that. Where Oprah got that nonsense about growing up in filth and roaches, I have no idea, Catherine Carr Estor said. I've confronted her and asked, why do you tell such lies? And Oprah told me, that's what people want to hear, the truth is boring. Now, later in the book, Kitty claimed that Oprah still does not know the true identity of her father. Now, Catherine told Kitty who he is on the condition she not publish the information until Oprah's mother came clean to her daughter. And you'll know when that happens because Oprah will probably have a show on finding her real father, she said. And as I said, the girl wastes nothing. Vernon Winfrey, the man who raised Oprah, was also frustrated with the way she had played fast and loose with the truth. She may be admired by the world, but I know the truth, he says. So does God and so does Oprah. 2 of us remain ashamed. Now, in the book, one of her employees spoke out about their experience working for her and said, I thought I'd be working for the warm and fuzzy person I saw on television, a former employee at her Harpo production company said, but God, I was conned. It's a cult at Harpo, so oppressive it's frightening. Now, this isn't the only employee who's spoken out though. When Oprah launched the OWN network, the first show she premiered was season 25, Oprah Behind the Scenes. In that episode, she asked women who worked for her to speak about their experiences, and they did not hold back. A large portion of the women that worked for Oprah had their own families, and they spoke about how they had to make certain sacrifices in their personal lives for the success of the show. Now, they talked about the challenges they faced as working moms, and one of them was quoted as saying, "I had to be okay with making sacrifices for work. I hope I inspire that passion in my children." Now, this was just reaffirmed by Demi Moore, who spent 11 years working as Oprah's chief of staff. "I hit the job jackpot," she told Women's Agenda from her New York base. "It was like winning a grand slam. It was extraordinary, and even now, 5.5 years after leaving, it's actually hard to articulate because it was so massive," she said. Now, to say that the job was consuming was a vast understatement. An average day saw Libby arrive for work between 6:30 and 7 a.m. and leave between 10 to 11 p.m. The show was syndicated to 144 countries, and the demands were constant. Now, 11 years later, she wanted to stay, but she knew it was time to go. "I was absolutely burnt out and fried. I wasn't very good at balancing my life. As amazing as the job was, and the friendship that Oprah and I had, my personal life was really suffering. I had 3 long-term relationships while I was in that job," she says, "and I could not continue any longer in the position." And let me just say, that sounds absolutely horrible. Then there's all the Diddy stuff. A source sent Page 6 a VHS tape that was sent out as an invitation to Diddy's 29th birthday party in 1998. It begins with a strange home video style skit in which Danny DeVito, lying on a sofa under a blanket, says, "That's right, Puff Daddy's having a party. This is Puff Daddy inviting you to come. Let's have a ball." Then in the video, a group of celebs take turns reading from a script detailing the date and time and exactly how fabulous and expensive the party will be, and then they read an address to RSVP to. They then said that the venue would be revealed later. Now, the group of celebrities in this includes Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres, Chris Rock, Mariah Carey, Will Smith, and Joan Rivers, just to name a few. Now, it's also been said that this whole video is 6 minutes long, but just over a minute of it was posted. Now, what happens in the other 5 minutes of it? No one really knows. People who have seen this, though, claim that the celebs involved in the tape should be looked at as potential accomplices in Diddy's case, as they appear to be good friends with him and have close ties. One person commented, "I think it's foul that not one person was staying away from him, and then supposedly they knew. No one was saying a word. Didn't he have some kind of big 4th of July party that anyone who was anyone would be at every year? Those people should be just as guilty, accomplices." While another person said, "It's crazy. Anyone I see here is suspect to me." Now, all those people in the video appear to be his really good friends, and how interesting is it that Oprah was a part of it? Now, this isn't the only brush the two have had together, as in 2006, Diddy made an appearance on The Oprah Show, and Oprah tried to get to the bottom of his stage names, why he changed them, and what they meant. I mean, he's had so many names including Puff Daddy, Puffy, P. Diddy, Diddy, Brother Love, and Love. Now, it's honestly very confusing for everyone. But when Oprah asked him about it, he decided he was not going to give up that information and keep it to himself. He said, "It's a nickname somebody gave me. I've never told anyone that. I know you get people to tell you everything, Oprah, but I can't look you in the eye and explain that one." He then shoved the question aside and said, "It's just a silly name," and it was made pretty clear here that he didn't want to share the deeper meaning and the significance of his stage name. Now, what's strange is that Oprah did not probe him anymore and just accepted that she wouldn't get an answer. Diddy then said, "I'll answer every other question except that one." Now, this is just strange in general and just so weird. Now, so far, Oprah has stayed quiet about Diddy and the allegations against him. I mean, Diddy is in jail right now waiting for his trial that is set for May 5th, 2025. But as time goes on, more and more celebrities are being connected to the music mogul and being exposed. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, Jay-Z was the first big name celebrity who was named in a lawsuit with Diddy for committing unimaginable crimes. Now, of course, Jay-Z denied it, but lawyers who are bringing cases against Diddy have said that it's time for celebrities who knew what was going on to stand up. Attorney Tony Busby, who is representing over 120 alleged victims of Diddy, has begun to send out demand letters to A-list celebrities who attended these events. Now, the letters have actually urged all these stars to settle out of court or face potential lawsuits, even if they did not engage in any kind of illegal activity. Tony has put forward an argument that their silence and inaction during these events make them complicit, while stating that those who witnessed wrongdoing but did not intervene share the same level of liability as the perpetrators. Now, in a recent appearance on TMZ, Tony emphasized on the fact that the demand letters are a standard practice to outline the situation and encourage dialogue, but at the same time, he's fully prepared to escalate to lawsuits if that becomes necessary. Noted a news outlet. Now, he's also noted that many celebrities are reportedly scrubbing their social media accounts to distance themselves from Diddy amidst the ongoing scandal. Now, the question is, did Oprah receive a letter? I mean, I wouldn't be too shocked if she did, and she'll probably pay up too, because she's worth $3 billion now.